2018. We're here at the Thomas & Mack Center. Action also at Cox Pavilion. All 30 teams in Summer League action for the first time here in Vegas. 82 games full. We are full of talent. As you look at the top 6 picks in the draft, we just saw Luka Doncic on the bench. Now we're going to see on the court a matchup in the middle of DeAndre Ayton and Mo Bamba. We are excited. Welcome to our NBA TV coverage. Casey Stern, VC Vince Carter, and our own Dennis Scott is with us as well, the third member of our crew. In both of these guys, you've got absolute stars, and you're going to have competition. Two guys who certainly know each other well from college and know, in terms of Bamba's case, that Ayton was picked ahead of him at number 1.
Absolutely. He's made it known it's motivation for him. And obviously, every pick under the number 1 pick wants to compare themselves. They want to show that they should have been or wanted to be the number 1 pick. So Ayton, I think, knows he has a target on his back, but at the same time, Mo Bamba is going to come out and try to make his name tonight.
Bamba has performed extraordinarily well already in a short amount of time. Look at the efficiency from the field. We've seen the touch on the jumper, something I know people want to see more of. But the size, the athleticism, and that aggression for such a humble, smart, nice guy. It's one of those guys who you talk to him and he's almost kind of like a big softie, and then all of a sudden you get in there and you do not want to mess with him.
Absolutely, and he's worked hard on his game. And I think him saying that he wants to prove that he's as good as the number 1 pick or the guys above him, he's showing that I'm gonna put my work in. I'm gonna work on my game. So I want to. You say my jump shot? Well, I'm gonna work on my jump shot, because now with the game being like it is, you having 7-footers. He's able to play the 5 and 4. So you're having big guys a la Marc Gasol shooting the 3, and his touch looks very good.
Something when you saw Ayton there, for those of you at home to watch, that I talked to number 1 pick himself overall, David Robinson, about at the draft, was what stood out to him, and there's a lot of comparisons between the footwork of Ayton and his ability, especially, you know this as well as I do, bigs at today's level, they got to be able to get out there, and in space, they're going to be able to have to see shorter guys on switches and defend. This is a guy you want to see be able to do that, but his athleticism certainly is there.
But the wonderful thing about all 3 of these big men, Ayton, Mo Bamba, and Isaac, is they're able to be up and pick and roll, but they're able to recover to the rim to their guys, and that's this young talent that you have now, and it's going to be great for the Phoenix Suns as well as the Magic.
Melvin Frazier, no good. Bamba looking for the board, can't get it. Ayton on the break. Here come the Suns. The jumper is good. We're out of the gates with a Devon Reed jumper for Phoenix.
And I think with all the attention on the bigs, somebody like Reed can go in and just play his game and have great nights because of all of the attention the other guys are going to bring to the table, as well as Briscoe, who is tough-minded guard, who is proving, who has earned his contract and showing that he deserves to be in the league.
K-State product Wesley Iwundu hits the jumper, played in a bunch of games for the Magic last year. To Vince's point, Briscoe signed earlier in the week. Is going to have a very good opportunity to get all of the minutes backing up DJ Augustine, who will be the starter. Magic were rumored to be in on Isaiah Thomas, but then those rumors were thwarted. We'll have their GM, John Hammond, with us here at the top of the second quarter, so we'll talk to him about that. But Briscoe, one of these kids, we've talked a lot about Kentucky over the last couple of days, and you don't get to see fully what anyone can do because Cal has so many guys on the floor that have talent bids at the same time.
For sure, and he's proven, and he's showing that he's hard-nosed, he's tough. I think one thing he's going to have to do is he a point guard. I mean, he can score. He can get to the basket. He can make plays for himself. And obviously with the Magic or playing in the league, you're going to have 2 featured guys along with Aaron Gordon, fresh off a nice contract himself, who's going to be the featured guy. So
nice way of putting it.
Yes, he's going to have to make plays. And obviously when he's open and he gets the opportunity to score, they're going to need him to do that as well.
Here's Shaquille Harrison with the jumper. It's good. You notice number 35 for Phoenix. If you're not a Phoenix Suns fan, you may not recognize Dragan Bender. Himself was one of the top picks in a draft. He's been maligned by some, maybe hasn't grown in terms of his game as quick as some people would like. Got some good minutes last year. Now you wonder with Ayton kind of where and how he fits in. They also have Marquise Chris on that roster as well.
Yes, I mean, it's just some guys develop and catch on faster than others, and he's going to have an opportunity to play. He shoots the ball extremely well. He has to continue to work on his body, obviously playing the forward position. So I think in due time, he'll catch on.
Isaac to the hole. Saw more of that so far here in Summer League. That injury kept him out of 55 games last year. Was hard to see what he could do, Vince.
6'11", 7 feet, somewhere in there. With a handle like that, can get to the rim, get fouled. I mean, that's a blessing.
Shoot
that's
it
a
from
gym.
three.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
can shoot it from three as well.
So the Magic can do so many things with their team. With somebody like you can move Isaac down to the 3 position if you wanted. You know, it's just a great opportunity for them, and just great to have all of these guys who can play multiple positions.
Second free throw good from Isaac.
And he shoots free throws well.
He does.
Nice form.
Nice touch on the jumper as well from Isaac. We've seen that here week 1 of Summer League. Here's Harrison, guarded tightly by Briscoe. Only going 5-4 here at Thomas and Mack. Nice move inside from Jackson. Follow Ayton, no good. We're going the other way. Isaiah Briscoe.
Ayton has an NBA body.
Yes, he does.
Already. And he played 1 year of college.
It is, I will still never understand, and this is with no disrespect to the University of Buffalo. When they lost in the first round, you look at that game, you could argue throwing it in the post to him 30 times in a row to try and win that game.
Make them foul him every
Because
time.
he is a man among boys in college.
I mean, he says it right there. He first picked up a basketball at 12, and now he's the #1 pick. So, I mean,
There's that jumper from Bender you talked about, a guy who can certainly shoot it. 8-4 early going. Thomas and Mack, second of our 3 games for our crew tonight.
I knew it firsthand because I had the opportunity of guarding Bender, so that's why I knew that he could shoot the 3.
You're the one having to close out on him. Quite a big boy. Is Bender.
He's tall. I tell you what, Briscoe and Harrison right now is a great matchup to watch alongside the bigs. They're going at it. They're going at it right now.
From Josh Jackson, who certainly could do that.
Yes, and he's going to attack the rim.
Off the break. Oh, and a block by Bamba, who sends it back. Here's Briscoe looking Bamba on the break, and a foul. Offensive foul.
Little things like that. You know, little things like that young guys have to learn. And I'm speaking of Briscoe as a point guard. You kind of put your big, you put your big in a position where he has to make a move in a matter of half a second, sliding by a guy trying to take a charge, and it is tough for him. And maybe as he develops and he gains more NBA experience, both of these guys, Mo Bamba and Briscoe, they'll make a better play. They were going for the highlight. I know that.
The lane wasn't open, so he couldn't get the highlight.
One more dribble, I think that opens that up.
There's a highlight. Harrison to Ayton. DeAndre Ayton's first bucket. We got a 10-4 game early.
That's the wonderful thing. Ayton will see if he sets a good screen to get his guards open or the ball handler open, he will be the beneficiary of a lot of those. Good
hands there by Jackson. Bender the other way from Harrison, not able to go. Suns will keep it here. They'll reset Devon Reed. Right in front of our desk. Reed off the screen. Not able to get it to go. Wandu with the rebound. Just under 6 to go here in quarter number 1. 4 10-minute quarters in Summer League.
See right here, I want to see Mo Bamba post up. You have a smaller guy. Post up. And obviously he'll work on his game, his low post game.
There you go.
The stroke looks good. Like anytime, he has to get the mentality. Anytime I see a switch, and Isaac will learn to do the same. Put him in the basket. You have the longest wingspan in NBA
Ever. The
combine history.
That is
ever.
correct.
So get on the post and out-jump these guys.
Here's Troy Copain, who had a fantastic game a couple of days ago at Summer League. Finds a Wandu. Top of the key, no good. Bender the rebound. Now we've got a timeout by Phoenix. A show early here at Thomas and Mack. We waited for it. Bamba defensively with the block. And then Harrison sets up his man Ayton inside. A good one here at Vegas.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, MGM Resort Summer League. The Phoenix Suns up 10-6 over the Orlando Magic, and Vince and Casey would talk about defense and how the league tries to play the best. Imagine this lineup on the floor at one time. Aaron Gordon, Mo Bamba, and Isaac. That's 7'1", 7'10", and 7-foot wingspan. There should never be an easy shot in the lane when all three of those guys are on the floor at one time.
Man,
I'm pretty sure if you stretch them alongside and have people run, it's like a 5K, just trying to get past the three of them.
it
is. I mean, 7'10", that is amazing.
Now just imagine playing zone, and you're trying to operate or just get anything in the paint down there with those guys.
Harrison the other way for Phoenix. Lead is 7, just over 4 to go in the early going first. Harrison, nice look, extra pass. Bender, the three, no good.
I mean, he's catch and shoot. Just gives a great pass by Jackson, just putting it on the money.
Oh, Isaac crosses corner. Nice pump there by Awandu. Maybe a little bit too unselfish.
I'm thoroughly impressed by Isaac. Obviously, his injury, he had a lot of injury. I mean, well, he's missed a lot of games with his injury. And the one thing about it, he had time to work on his handle, work on his game, and I'm impressed of the work that he's put in. I didn't know he had that in his game. Not like that.
No, the talent and ability is apparent. Copain back inside and a foul.
I have to give a shout out to my guy, Jack Cooley.
Yeah, how about Jack?
Oh, man, I love him. Now, when I say a guy that plays hard and will clear out space, that's your pulling guard right there.
That's it.
He plays hard, man, and he's always a fan favorite, and I hope to see him stick somewhere because he's great.
Troy Copain, who's been great here at Summer League. Himself had a nice college career. So many known NCAA players. But the G League is so good. That extra spot. There's Cooley defensively.
Talking about somebody who's going to hit the glass. He's going to hit you.
Bender, nice look. Mikal Bridges, the rookie out of Nova, doesn't go. And he could do that 40% from 3 at school in Nova. Isaac, jumper no good. Bender the rebound. And Bridges, a 3-and-D guy, perfect fit for today's NBA.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Doesn't need the ball too, Vince, which makes him easy to play with.
And he naturally, there's Jack Cooley again on the glass. That's what he does. He gets your teams extra possessions. The one thing about Bridges, he's a guy that has his hands ready by any means.
That's Cooley with a cool touch.
That's what he does, Jack Cooley. See Devin Booker's here.
Yep.
Support his guys.
He's got some nice new teammates to play with.
Oh, yeah.
Copain, the three-pointer, no good. Rebound again by Bender. Been active on the glass. Phoenix up 9, 2.5 to go. Magic struggling from the field. Suns, not the same problem.
I mean, if you look at the screens, Ayton, Cooley are setting. They're getting these guys wide open shots just from putting their body on these guards.
Devon Reed off to a fantastic start, a 13-2 run for the Phoenix Suns. There's your man, Cooley.
I can hear him shouting, Cooley, Cooley. That's my guy.
Summer League action continues tonight in Vegas on ESPNU and on the ESPN app. Brooklyn and Minnesota, the T-Wolves. Josh Okogie, 11 o'clock Eastern time. You know about the big men to watch, but watch carefully number 2. That's Elie Okobo. That's the European point guard that the Suns are very, very high on. They're hoping that he could be maybe the guy of the future to run the point there as you get a look at Okobo, a guy who's got a lot of skills, not a known player to the variety that a Doncic is. But, you know, look, I remember people saying the same thing about Tony Parker. How'd that work out?
Man, let me tell you.
That worked out okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Wesley Iwundu can't find anyone because Cooley is just covering in the paint.
That's what he does.
That's your man.
He clears out space or clogs space
That's
as well.
Reed, he's had the hot hand. Looking for help, finds Cooley inside. Nice look to Bender.
Jack Cooley, man.
That is a nice extra pass.
There they go, Cooley. I love it. I love it.
Tell you what, who knew he'd be the big man to star in quarter number one, but it's the way it's turned out.
I knew we should have talked about him at the top of the feature.
I was saying we should, but you thought maybe Bamba Ayton.
Yeah, well.
Campbell with the jumper. Lead is 11. Dragan Bender finds Okobo. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Looking for the screen from Cooley, gets it. And before the shot, we've got a foul. Here's another look at the smooth hands and the look from your boy Cooley.
That's what he does. I mean, he just, like I said, he clogs the paint. He has great vision, and he just loves to play the game. He loves contact. But at the same time, he has great vision.
Alec Peters into the game. He'll inbound the ball. Also in number 8, George King for the Phoenix Suns. Cooley finds Okobo. And we're going the other way. The foul will go on Cooley. Offensive foul. Magic will take it. Still looking to get into double digits. They're down 11 under a minute to go here in the first. Action at Thomas and Mack in Vegas. Day 4 of Summer League. Troy Copain working on Okobo. Jumper. No good. They'll try and push in transition. Alec Peters. Back to Okobo, top of the key. Finds Peters. Working against Iwundu. Off the handoff. Okobo again, now down to 10 on the shot clock. Left hand, no good. Iwundu finds his teammate Campbell. And they'll say we're going the other way. Jack Cooley wondering why. He's been in the mix in the middle of everything.
Oh, he's going to be in the mix of everything. If somebody gets hit, it's probably him.
It's one of those guys, you know, if somebody fell, he probably did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice look inside.
Very nice pass
to Campbell. Good pass by Angolorotas.
Jack Cooley on the board again.
2011 after 1. It began about Ayton and Bamba, became about Cooley and the shooting. The cool shooting of the Phoenix Suns. Back with quarter number 2 on the other side. After 1 here in Summer League action, it's the Phoenix Suns 20, the Orlando Magic 11. Mo Bamba against DeAndre Ayton. Fans excited to see that. We're excited here to have on set the general manager of the Orlando Magic, John Hammond. So we were just talking about it. Excitement around the city of Orlando, and I know around the Magic fans for Mo Bamba and what he presents in terms of his talent level for the future of the franchise.
Yeah, we definitely think so. We were really excited that we were able to draft him, and you know, we think with Mo and some other players that we have in our organization today that, you know, the future can be very bright for us.
You know, I know obviously your organization, your group likes length, but I was joking if you took your 3 in the front court, we might be able to run a 5K against them if they just held arms. I mean, how about the size of Isaac, the return of Gordon, which we'll get into, and now a guy like Bamba, and the length and the trouble, especially defensively, that could prevent for other teams?
I think it potentially could be just that you know, defensively, I think that, you know, they have the length, but they also, both Jonathan and Mo have good feet. So they can go out on the floor, they can cover people. You know, a lot of people are switching ball screens today, and you need bigs that have that ability. And both of those players have that skill set, have the good feet, and of course Aaron Gordon can do that as well.
I know everybody's talking about Mo Bamba and how excited everybody is, but I was saying on air that I'm very impressed with the development of Isaac, with his ball handling and his ability to shoot. It was talked about, but I mean, just seeing it live and seeing him out here being able to put the ball on the floor, get fouled, get to the basket, as well as shoot the three. I'm impressed because I've watched him work out before games and just working on it, and now he looks comfortable out here doing it.
Well, Vince, he basically missed almost his entire rookie year.
Yep.
I think he played maybe 600-plus minutes. So it was a long year from him. I fought off a lot of injuries, but I can tell you this, since the day the season ended, he's been in our gym, working hard, preparing himself for the summer league and preparing himself for the upcoming season. We're really excited about him. Not only is he has a chance to be a good player, but an extremely high character person.
Yep.
You can go a long way with guys like that.
And I'll say kudos to your training staff, because we as players, I think, if we try to come back too early, we're on the court, but we tend to worry about the injury. I don't see any effects of it. He's not thinking about it. He's not dragging. He's just out there playing, and that's just great to your staff and for him, and putting the work in and being patient.
I agree with that. We're in the process of doing a lot of things in our organization. We've hired basically a completely new performance team led by Dave Tenney, and he's doing a great job with that. And look, we can talk about skills and size and length and everything else, but Vince, what it comes down to is availability.
For sure.
The greatest asset that you can have within your team is availability to have guys on the floor ready to play.
Agreed.
See DeAndre Ayton posting up, turnaround, not able to go, but a foul. We're chatting with John Hammond, the general manager of the Orlando Magic. So give us a sense of what made it so important to bring Aaron back and keep that relationship between the Magic and Aaron Gordon together here for the next number of years.
Well, you look at a guy like Aaron, and he has almost kind of like a veteran status on our team at 4 years, and he's 22 years old. So a guy like that, you still talk about his potential, even though he's been in the league 4 years, because he came in at 18 years old. So we look at a player like Aaron and think, he's going to continue to improve. Aaron really wants to be good. There's no doubt about that, but he really wants to win. He's committed to winning, and he's going to do everything he can to help us win games and become a championship organization.
John, we were talking about it from the point guard position and the signing of Briscoe, who we're getting to see here at Summer League a lot. A lot of times these guys, there's so much talent that Cal has at Kentucky, you almost can't tell who can do what. He's had some growth since college. What attracted you to the idea of bringing him onto the roster now to join your group with DJ and company at the guard spot?
Well, he came out of McDonald's All-American, went to Kentucky, had a very good career there, and comes out into the NBA draft, and he didn't shoot it quite well enough. He's worked on his shot. Give the guy kudos. And he went to Russia and played this past year. So, and he had a very good year there. He accepted his role, accepted the responsibility of going that far away, handled it extremely well, and we're excited to have him.
Do you guys have aspirations of possibly having Isaac play a three position? I mean, with his ball handling and him developing that way, he has the position, the ability to develop into a three at this height, where you can just have an even taller lineup.
I think so, Vince. You say, okay, so Jonathan Isaac and Aaron Gordon. Who's the three? Who's the four?
Right, exactly.
You say they're both forwards, and I think the key is the old saying is you are what you can defend.
Agreed.
So if Jonathan is capable of defending a small forward, which I think he can, there's no doubt in my mind that he'll be able to do that, then he can play that position, because offensively, you're right. He can handle the ball, he can make plays for other people, and he's going to continue to improve his shooting.
That's awesome. I think the key for him on the offensive end is now having the ball in his hand more, being comfortable with decision making. I think that's the biggest thing, because say I'm playing the three, having to guard somebody taller than me like that, we automatically think pressure a bigger guy like that. And he seems comfortable with pressure, having a guy like Jackson guarding him, and he's still able to left to right crossover, get to the paint. But I think that's something he will see more. And it seems like already he's comfortable with somebody pressuring and being up under him.
He is, and if you look back at Florida State, the way he played, he's a guy that he liked being a facilitator. He really wasn't a hungry scorer. and that's really not in his, I think, DNA. He needs to develop a little bit of that, to be honest with you. But the things you're talking about, that's what he likes. He likes to handle the ball. He likes to get people involved, and he likes to use the vision that he has to be a facilitator. So I think that he's comfortable in doing that, and I think the potential for him is just unlimited.
That's awesome.
Ayton over Bamba, and the jumper is good. Both the big men showing their touch in this game as it's 25-14 Phoenix. Let me ask while we have you here. We're chatting with John Hammond, the GM of the Magic. Nowadays, fans, I think, are so more astute than they've ever been about directions, John, of organizations, and also patience and how long it takes. When you hear timetable, is it fair to even have that conversation? You hear fans, they want to know when do you think that we might be at the point where you think that the Magic would look like a playoff team in the Eastern Conference?
And it's fair. It's fair to ask, I mean, we hired Steve Clifford, and I love Steve's line, talking about, he said, every year there's a story in the league, and he said, why can't we be that story this year? And you never know what's going to happen. I've been with teams that have had significant swings, and a lot of times it's a guy stepping up, having a season you don't expect. It's good health. That's a big factor.
For sure.
But sometimes it's the team fit. Guys just get along. The locker room fits together. Guys enjoy playing with each other, and that can create wins itself.
And I'm also sure you were okay with LeBron leaving the conference.
That helps.
that doesn't hurt.
But I think, like you said, it's just mentality. And I think Aaron Gordon being around and his hunger and desire to win, he's going to bring that to his team. And as you probably gain more veterans, and they just have to learn. And I think Steve Clifford is a wonderful coach. I had the luxury of having him in my days in Orlando, and his passion for winning and defense is going to create a lot of opportunities for this team to win, particularly in the East.
No doubt. No, I'll say two things to that. Number one is that Aaron Gordon has had some good moments thus far in his career. The one thing he knows that he hasn't had is winning.
Winning, yes.
And he's hungry for that. I think all the guys, Nikola Vucevic, guys like that on our organization, those guys want to win, and they're character people. So, and you get a guy like Steve Clifford, and Steve is a detail guy.
Yeah.
His teams are always going to be prepared. We're going to be well coached. We're going to be organized, and I think our organization's in good hands with Coach Clifford.
I agree.
Sweet finish on one end by Bamba. Nice jumper, Josh Jackson. Before we let you run, it's only fair because we've got 3D Dennis Scott as the third member of our team. Is there any chance that you could free up a spot for a three-point specialist on the roster?
So far, I think we've only made 1 3. But,
I got 10 minutes left. I'm about a 10 day every 10 minutes.
I know one thing he can do. He can make a 3.
10 minutes total. He said 10 minutes total.
We'll take 1 3 out of here.
They call it 10 day. No, I need 10 minutes.
John, appreciate it, few. Thanks so much. Congrats on a great offseason to this point. Enjoy the rest of the summer, okay?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the chance to be on with you.
All right, General Manager of the Magic, John Hammond, joining us here as we get ready to continue the rest of this score. 29-18, your score. Seen Bamba and Ayton both show off their abilities to this point here in this game. And we've got a timeout on the floor. When we come back, about 5 minutes to go in the first half, in our big matchup of bigs, Bamba against Ayton here in Vegas. We return to coverage of the main event of Summer League Week 1. Mo Bamba against DeAndre Ayton, and both have shown their skills, Vince, so far.
Absolutely. They're on display, and they know it. Seem like they're comfortable in this position with the spotlight on them, and they're answering the call and giving us a good show.
Been fun to watch. Also, some pretty plays from Josh Jackson during the course of this game as well.
Yes. I think Reed is shooting the ball well.
Yes.
It's been a
Josh with the ode to our guy Rip with the mask. Going the other way, Wesley Iwundu. Oh, and a defensive stop the other way by #1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton.
I mean, the block is impressive, but more than anything, him running the floor, chasing down a guard and getting his hand on the ball, it's just, that's what you want. And that is like, man, I know Igor is really satisfied and excited about the future, because when you have a a big that can get up on the floor and save possessions like that, you win games. Well, you give yourself a chance to win games.
Athleticism, and luckily he was okay. Did take a hard fall, but you want to talk about the hustle getting back on the break. Got a little help. It looked like Frazier maybe slowed down a second. Find out whether or not he wanted to pass to his teammate. Rebound from Ayton as well.
Yes, I mean, that's what it's all about. Like, he's a big body. He's getting up the court, and that's what you like from your young guys. Like, one thing you can't teach is just your hustle and your ability to be that. And it's just great. This is great to see.
Ayton guarded by Bamba in the post. Aaron pass, and will stay this way. Lead is 10. We look at the first two games for our two big men, and both have shown themselves to be efficient from the floor. We've seen nice touch on the jumper from both as well. Shaquille Harrison, no good. We're going the other way. Here come the Magic. Oh. And an open court foul on Devon Reed. Foul is on Reed. He fouled Jay Wright. You look at where we stand here with the Magic and their franchise, and talking to John, and I think it is, I mean, look, you played for that franchise. That is a fan base that wants a winner. They deserve a winner.
Yes,
it's been a long time.
I agree. And they're taking a step in the right direction. And I think the Magic fans now have something to feel good about. And, you know, obviously I live in the Orlando area, and they've been wanting it for so long. Obviously in 3D's day, making it to the finals. I was a Magic fan growing up, so getting to see that, and Dwight and those getting to the finals, and when I played, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then all of a sudden, it's been a drought.
Yeah,
so they're looking for it, and they're very loyal fans, and they want what they want, and just like all fans. And I think this organization bringing in Mr. Hammonds is great, and now bringing in something for the fans to be excited about is awesome.
And Dennis, I liked how when I asked John that question, it's not an easy question, he said it's fair and answered it, because I think that is what fans want to know. What is your timetable that you see your vision on how to win?
And hopefully, to that point, Casey, these young guys that they're excited about, their growth comes quicker than later. Like we talked about now, them being 18, 19, 20 years old.
Right.
Fans don't want to wait. If we're giving you all that money and we're drafting that high, it's time to go out there and play like you showed us, Vince.
But at the same time, you know, I say to fans all the time, you want the success from your team. Well, you have to have some patience and allow these guys to develop. It's like sometimes we think we want it now, but sometimes these guys need time to develop, and you don't want to put pressure on these guys. And like, yeah, you make all this money. I agree that, but you want to put the best product on the floor, and you want your guys to develop in a positive way.
Right, with 8 seconds left on the shot clock, to Bender. Awundu not able to get it to go. Bamba the rebound, and eventually going Phoenix's way. Here's Devon Reed looking for Jackson, taking himself.
And then I want to add to that as well. Let's think about this. You're talking about guys who are now coming into the league. Ayton, Mo Bamba, you know, a lot of these guys are one and dones. So they don't have a lot of experience, obviously, well, with 1 year of college and now coming to the NBA, and we're expecting them to grasp this league and dominate immediately. And it's just tough. It's a lot to ask from a 18, 19-year-old guy, and hopefully, you know, the Orlando can bring in some veterans to help these guys to get them where they need to be and show them how, you know, the game is operated.
Phoenix has their largest lead of our game, 37-21 over Mo Bamba and the Orlando Magic here in Vegas. You look at the depth of the Orlando Magic. We were talking about their future. Obviously, the present down 16 here in this game, but it's really the guard position where now all of the questions will be. They made the trade to bring in Jerian Grant. I know they like his size. Got Augustine. You've got Briscoe, Fournier, who could shoot the ball a bit. Yes. They lost Hazonia, who at 23 years old looked like he was starting to develop into something. Now he'll be in New York. That guard spot, those two spots really are where the questions are with Orlando.
For sure. And I think Hazonia would have been a nice piece to add to their length on the court. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Mr. Hammonds is going to address the problem, and we'll see what they do.
Here's Elliot Kobo. Finds Bender for the jumper. It's no good. We've seen that touch from 3 in this game already. Under 2 to go now in the first half. Lead 16. It's the largest of the game. Got to see a lot of Josh Jackson in that defense he showed at Kansas and in his first year at the NBA level. Got more comfortable as the year went on.
For sure.
Isaac, open. Trades it.
Very nice touch. Like you were saying with Jackson, he's an in-your-face defender, and he's an in-your-face offensive player as well. So that's just who he is, and that's what he brings to the table. Isaac had just a nice stroke, stepped in and knocked it down.
Here's Reed. Looking for Bender again, top of the key. Here's Jackson. One-on-one with Frazier. Shot clock winding down. He didn't see it. Dive for the ball by Frazier.
That's how you make a team right there. On somebody, there's a GM coach who's watching right now, and that's how you get a contract. Great hustle. You see, yes, it's a violation, but he's on the floor, and those are the plays that coaches love and appreciate. And even if he doesn't make this Magic roster or whatnot, he can make somebody else's roster, get a two-way contract, and fulfill his dream.
As you see there, 35th pick in the draft out of Tulane. You know, you talk about not doing it right away. Think back to last year. The stars, you have Tatum, you have Lauri Markkanen, who I thought was fantastic.
Absolutely.
For the Bulls. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell. There's only 3 or 4 guys. Remember, Ben Simmons not from that draft. There's only 3 or 4 guys that you look at and say they starred and had unbelievable years. Most guys go through that transition period.
Absolutely, and it's a process, and we hear that word thrown around a lot, the process.
Well,
but
now you do in Philadelphia.
Yeah, in reality, that's what it is. It's just like, guys, you want your team to win, and you want guys to kind of step in and be or have the success like, let's say, LeBron James or Donovan Mitchell, who steps in and lights up the league. And sometimes it takes some guys a little while to develop, and then once they gain their confidence, they take off.
Now, I know we're at 99% that you'll play one more. It's going to be at least one more.
Oh, we still got some time.
Can we get you to stay in the East? You know, it's nice out west, but it may not be as nice.
You're right about that.
Let me tell you.
You're right about that.
The seas have parted now in the East. Josh Jackson. Yeah. Active hands there by Isaac, but Reed picks it up to the finish. Oh, what defense!
Way to stick with it.
Nice D. The turnaround for Jackson, no good.
I think Reed made the mistake there of bringing the ball back to the side of the goal where he started. I think if he does a reverse layup or a layup on the left-hand side,
Angola
he gets in the paint
with the defense.
And he brings the ball right back to him instead of just putting it either with a left hand or just a right hand finish on the left side of the goal.
Troy Copain, top of the key. Magic looking to cut into the gap before half. About 40 seconds to go in the half. Now 10 on the shot clock. Deep shot, no good from Angola Rodas. We're going the other way. We've seen some good shooting from Phoenix.
I'm thinking a high pick and roll here.
I would say that's a good idea. It is the NBA 2018. There's Jackson. Oh, the defense from Isaac. Showed the 3 with the touch, now the D. Awundu, spinorama, right out of bounds.
But there again, here's something that young guys need to learn. Your veterans, you pull them aside and you say, hey, we have the ball, 14 seconds left. We want the last shot. Slow down.
Here's another look, Isaac on defense. He has showed all the skills.
Yes.
Timeout. They'll be able to set up a shot. 7.3 seconds to go. We'll come back with the finish of the first half. The big matchup of big men here in Vegas. Keep up with all the things Summer League. Get your highlights, scores, schedules of just a click of a button. Stay in the know with NBA Summer. Do a little dance.
Do your dance.
That's it. I don't know if Vogue is still
no
working in 2018, but you know, maybe that's you know, when you're winning at the tables in Vegas, it'll make you dance in all sorts of strange ways.
That is true.
I wouldn't know because I never win. I never win at the
Just about
table.
to say I would know because I stayed
Vegas.
away from it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't stay away from it. I just don't win.
Yeah, well. I stayed away from it this time. I was like, yeah, let's wait.
7 seconds to go in the half. Harrison.
The hammer action.
Good off glass. Magic last opportunity. 2.2. Frazier looking to get the shot off, and it's no good.
That was a great, nice out of timeout play by Coach Igor. Like I had him in Phoenix, and he's a great basketball mind, great offensive mind, and that's a great play. Great, well done, well executed.
39-24, the score at the break. 15-point lead. As we get a chance to throw it across to our boy 3D. Dennis?
All right, thanks, Casey. Here with Aaron Gordon. Aaron, I know you're relieved. There's so much about the contract. But go ahead and tell your fans how happy you are it's over with.
I'm ecstatic, man. It was kind of
Thank you so
stressful.
much.
I'm not
Just
gonna
gonna
lie,
take a pee
man.
break.
Thank you. Yes.
I was staying up all hours of the night waiting on the phone call, just making sure everything was in order. And it came through, man. I'm happy to be Orlando Magic.
Now, with that being said, any added pressure? You're a young veteran now. You got the big contract. You have all this new pieces coming in. It's time to make the playoffs this year, right?
Yeah, of course. No added pressure, though. Guys like Mo Bamba and Jonathan Isaac, they take the pressure off, man, especially on the defensive end. Offensively, we got a lot of weapons, a lot of versatility. No pressure, man. It's time to play. It's time to settle in. It's time, exactly, to make the playoffs.
We talk about defense. You have a 7-foot wingspan. Isaac's 7'1", and Bamba's 7'10". There should be no easy layups down the Magic defense.
Oh, definitely. Help side gonna be crazy. Paint protection gonna be crazy. Ball pressure is gonna be off the chain.
And I have to ask, because the fans were tweeting about it, dunk contest, anything you're working on, in-game dunks. I like the smile. What are you working on?
You know, I got a dunk contest winner on my team in Terrence Ross, right?
That's right.
T. Ross, he gave me a couple of dunks here and there to keep on my mind, but I don't know if I'm gonna do the dunk contest this year. You know, I think it's time to focus on winning.
There you go. And we had John Hammond on at halftime. He talked about that, why he wanted to get you back in, because he understands how hard you've been working and you really want to start winning.
No question. And that's what it's about. I think coming in as 18-year-old, I didn't quite understand that. You know, I was too enamored with guys like you know what I mean? The legends, and trying to make my name and try and score buckets and everything like that. You know, it's still about buckets, but it's about winning at the end of the day. That's how everybody gets love. So that's what I'm going to preach to my team as a young veteran. Everybody gets love when you win.
That's right. Appreciate you.
No question, baby. Thanks.
All right, man. Aaron Gordon with the new money. The Magic are happy. We'll be right back with the second half as the Suns up 39-24 over the Orlando Magic.
These are cliches because they're true. Things are bigger in Texas, and Mo Bamba said no soup for you, or you, and was second in the country in blocked shots, thanks largely to a long wingspan. Drink up, Jay Billis. Longest at the combine, and right in line with some of the
Resort Summer League. So much has been talked about Mo Bamba and the wingspan. Let's take a closer look.
You know why they say cliches are cliches? Because they're true. Things are bigger in Texas, and Mo Bamba said no soup for you, or you, and was second in the country in blocked shots, thanks largely to a long wingspan. Drink up, Jay Billis. Longest at the combine, and right in line with some of the stretchiest Stretch Armstrongs in the NBA right now, but not quite as big as Manute Bol, who once allegedly killed a lion. In an unrelated story, an eagle is now landing on Mo Bamba's head to show his 8-foot wingspan, which will wreak havoc but cannot stop a city bus, even if it is almost as wide.
Don't go anywhere. Second half action coming up with the Suns and the Magic.
We return to our coverage of the MGM Resorts NBA Summer League 2018 coverage. Start of the third quarter, the Suns up by 15. We look back at the two bigs in the spotlight in the first half, beginning with Mo Bamba.
Just athletic big, gets up and down the floor, great defensive instinct, shot blocking. I think his offensive game is going to come. It's going to come. He just needs to continue to be dominant on the defensive end, and everything else will take care of itself.
On the other side, DeAndre Ayton showing his touch and size.
Man.
And ability. inside.
Same thing with Ayton. Just his ability to just be a dominant force defensively. Offensively, I think he's already learned that if he sets good screens and roll down the rim, there's not too many people who's going to stop him in this league when he's rolling down the paint. And his ability to get up above the rim, he's going to score a lot of easy points with the talent that they already have.
Frazier will take it. Troy Copain getting the start here in half number 2 at the point. Briscoe started the first half. Jonathan Isaac, really, you could make a case, was the star of the bigs, if you will, because he's a big himself.
Other than Jack Cooley.
Yes, other than Jack Cooley.
I guess we can't do that.
Of course, other than Jack Cooley.
I know, we can't do that.
DeAndre Ayton, 7 and 6. Again, efficient. Both were efficient. Mentioned Isaac, guy who showed off the rebounding and the defense and the touch, the size. Pretty balanced scoring, and we should be fair. We're talking about size and top picks. Dragon Bender, 3 out of 6, 8 points, 5 boards.
And if we notice, I just noticed the last 2 possessions, and that's kudos to Isaac, who is now drawing the defensive matchup of Jackson because of his ability to put the ball on the floor and get into the paint.
Here's Harrison for Phoenix. Lead is 15. Been as much as over 20. Here's Josh Jackson, aforementioned. Bamba, nice defensive hands, getting in the lane, forced a turnover. Here's Copain, pushes up. Frazier, not able to go. Rebound Jackson, but it hits the baseline. And will stay right here.
One thing they're doing, they're pushing the ball up the floor. And with all this length and athleticism, you get all the block shots, get the ball and get up and just try to get easy baskets with young teams. When you start playing against great defensive teams and veteran teams, for them, they want to use their athleticism, take advantage of their athleticism and get easy baskets. And that's one thing as a young team you don't see them get a lot of is easy baskets, particularly in the second half.
Jackson misses the 3. I'm wondering, as highly touted as these kids are, as great of a player as you were out of college, how long did it take you until you really got a handle of the speed and physicality of the NBA, Vince, versus what you saw at the college level?
Well, I'll tell you what, for me, I was thrown into the fire and had to just go immediately and just fight my way through it because I didn't have a summer league to play. And I'm working out back at school in Carolina, and it was only a 55-game season, so it happened so quick. I don't think I had an opportunity to worry about it. I just had to go through it and the aches and pains of the league. And fortunate for me, I had some success. But I had Oakley, who pretty much prepped me right into the league. So we sat and worked, and when I played against guys like Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, and it was just like I'm prepared. And there's not as many veterans in the game now to kind of help with that, to help the coaching staff with that. So I start feeling like after what was the All-Star break, which is February, I think guys tend to typically feel better. Some guys, it takes a year.
Until they hit that rookie wall, though, right? Because we hear about that in the first year.
Yeah, that's true, too. Particularly the guys who are playing a lot of minutes when they get into their first season, so they're playing their second college season in the 1 year. You tend to hit the wall. It's just guys have to learn how to take care of their body at a young age where it's like maybe you don't go out, or maybe you don't stay up as late and play Fortnite or your PlayStation. You get some rest, because that rest is good recovery for your body, because when your body talks, you need to listen.
Now, of course, Vince referencing Fortnite, which is something the younger players on the team tell him about, and I don't play it either, but I know.
Well said.
I know that
they tell me about it.
3D was playing Atari back in his day when he was in the NBA, right, 3D?
Of course, and I still have it. They came out with the new edition, so my son started playing Fortnite. I was like, boy, I'm big at Space Invaders.
Fort what? Yeah. What you said?
Yeah. DZ's playing Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Copain before the shot clock expires off glass.
3D was playing the ColecoVision too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
3D, you would have been a beast in 2K, my friend.
Well, remember in television?
No,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, remember that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had all that mess. Then I got old. Then I didn't think video games were good.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
Now 2K looks like a movie.
You know, I always want to go through the experience. My kids aren't old enough yet. I want to break out that old electronic football game that many
Yes.
people watching
man, I
had.
have one of those still.
Where you
I
turn
still
it
have
on
one.
and
Yes.
I still have one of those.
and you try and kick a field goal, and it's like flicking
The
that little
football was like a
football.
little
It's like-
eraser, right?
Yeah, man, exactly.
I want to show a kid who's complaining that mom won't get them.
Yes.
You know,
Like, this is our fun right here.
This is what we did.
Let me go plug it on and click it on. It's like,
All it did was vibrate. The
That's it.
players didn't do anything. They just vibrated.
Wasn't no blocking going
No,
on.
nothing happened.
zero.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And they had like two teams. It was the Raiders and the Redskins,
right.
I think,
That's it.
right?
Right. Was it Bo Jackson going
Yeah.
right? Bo
I
Jackson
love
going
the
right.
80s. No, because they would slide.
Yes.
Right.
You know, you're playing somebody, you bump into the side of it so he'd slide the right direction.
This is a great test for Isaac that we're talking about as far as an aggressive defender like that to put the skills that he's been working on all summer to the test. Now he can go back for the rest of the summer and kind of see where he needs to go from there. And I think he's handling it just fine. But at the same time, you know, like I was saying earlier, guards, once he's gaining some success, guards are going to get up under him and make him uncomfortable, like we saw Jackson do up at the top of the three-point line here. So he's doing well, and he's really handling himself extremely well with that situation.
It's such a nice soft touch, too, from the
It does.
line and on his jumper.
But I think it helps him. He seems like a very confident kid in this game, and he's willing to do anything to be a great player. So
Kobe underneath loses the ball, and there's an open foul. Bender trying to halt the one-do. Elie Kobo, the highly touted European draft pick, point guard for the Phoenix Suns. Open position for them, where they're hoping that he can quickly move up in the roster, in the rotation, and maybe even get that spot. It seems to be the one question. Obviously, you know about Booker and him staying long-term, and Josh Jackson and Ayton as you see the jumper no good from Isaac. Here's Josh Jackson to the lane. Hard pass Copain. No good, but it'll go to the foul line. Dennis, last year we saw Josh Jackson come in, and you knew he'd get minutes immediately because he could play defense. That's the quickest way to get those minutes. How much harder is it for a kid like that to grow when the culture is one where you change coaches 3 games into the season, you're losing a lot of games? I mean, try and explain to fans watching how much more difficult that makes it.
Casey, such a great question, because you could easily fall into bad habits. When you're a young team, you're trying to figure out if you're coming or going, like you mentioned, different coaches, young guys getting signed. So that I think a guy like Devin Booker has been great for Jackson, because Devin Booker comes into the league very young, but the work ethic is off the chart. That's why he's off to a great start to his career. He's been blessed with a new contract. So hopefully he can be that barometer for Josh Jackson to learn from.
And Josh Jackson, regardless of like a new coach, the one thing he was going to bring to the table for sure is that he played hard.
Yes.
And he would run the floor. So even if his jump shot wasn't there, particularly in the beginning of the year, he was going to play hard, get easy buckets, and get to the free throw line, and everything kind of happened from there.
And to your point, Casey, with Jackson, he creates his own offense by steals, by playing good defense in the passing lanes.
And he's going downhill.
Jumper there from Jackson on cue, no good. Awandu will send it the other way. Here's Copain. Magic trying to push yet again offensively.
And he's a little more aerodynamic now that he got rid of the hair.
There's
Exactly.
a steal.
I was like, who is that masked man with no hair?
I didn't know at first.
Hey, let me tell you something. Elfrid Payton's going to need a name tag
Right.
when we see him this
There's
year
a couple of guys, man, just like, hey.
without his hair. Phoenix 43, Orlando 32. Ayton, Bamba, Isaac, stars across the board in Vegas. Suns up by 11, third quarter action. Summer League action continues tonight in Las Vegas on NBA TV and the ESPN app. Vince, 3D and I will be here. Clippers and Rockets. The Mbah Moute Bowl coming up after this.
Man.
Of course, Luke rumored to be locked up now by the Clippers, which means the loss of Ariza and Mbah Moute. PJ Tucker cannot do it all by himself, and you hear about the rumors of Melo and fantastic Hall of Fame career, but filling in for the role defensively that Ariza played is not necessarily what he's going to do.
Yeah, it's tough. They have a decision to make, and they're gonna have to figure it out. I mean, that's 2 big losses for Houston on that defensive perimeter that I think put them in the position to be 1.5 games away from being in the finals.
And you know what I don't think people think about, Vince, is everybody thinks about what they meant defending against Golden State. Clearly that's a big loss. But remember, LeBron is now in your conference.
Yeah.
So the Lakers may not be a factor this year, but they probably are going to be a major factor a year from now.
Right.
And those are also guys that you want. Yeah, you got to put different bodies on him. Again, PJ Tucker can't be the only guy that is that defender for you.
Yeah.
And Ariza was so important to that culture there too.
For sure. And I mean, and they had the luxury of rotating those 3 guys on the best offensive player. Now it's just one guy. Once you bring Tucker out, who's next? And I think that's the question and the issue they have to answer.
Bender finds a Kobo. He's got a lane open and a slam from Ayton. Isaac went to the guard. Didn't see Ayton up behind him. Easy finish.
Well, Kobo gets into the paint, drawing that defensive big, which allows Ayton just to receive the alley-oop for an easy dunk.
Isaac able to hold on, but Mikal Bridges will take it the other way. Here's a Kobo. Finds Devon Reed. Ayton one-on-one with Isaac. Back to the basket. Nice hands defensively by Jay Wright, the guard, and eventually the other way, and Golorodis underneath.
Great finish.
How about that move under Ayton, who was there with bad intentions defensively?
Great move.
And nice play by Wright, the guard, on the other end, to have active hands to not allow Ayton to continue to back in Isaac.
Right. You see this Ayton waiting patiently. Guard gets into the paint. He rolls to the front of the rim. It's on the receiving end of an easy alley-oop.
Bender finds Ayton, guarded by Isaac. Turns. Jumper no good. And Wright will take it the other way. Left side and Golorodis. Pass Mikal Bridges. Off glass, an inch strong move. Second consecutive possession. He's had a nice move to the basket.
He's getting to the rim. Tacking the lead foot of the defender and just lunging forward, reaching for the glass, and putting in for two more.
Also blew by Bridges, very good defender in college. That'll be one of the things that you look for him to do at this level.
Yes, it's just that adjustment period. I think you're seeing these guys who are elite athletes at the next level, who are your height, if not smaller or taller, and just a little quicker than you're used to. So it's just an adjustment period for all these guys. And there again, this is the importance of Summer League for these young guys to go through this now. So hopefully they're prepared once the season starts.
We've got a Cooley sighting, which means Vince is happy.
Oh yeah, I am.
Shot clock violation. There is Joe Cooley. Jack Cooley, excuse me.
Big Jack
I was
Cooley.
thinking of Joe Cool.
Joe Cool.
Jack Cooley. You know, they have the quarterback pressures in football from the linemen. I think he's leading the league maybe here at Summer League with paint pressures. Seems to everybody bumping off of Cooley here in the first half that we saw. Here's Isaac. Right hand, no good. Not able to get the roll. Phoenix takes it the other way. Elie Kobo. Nice dish inside to Bridges. Takes it back up top. Devon Reed. Cooley with the tip. Right on cue.
That's what he does, man. When the ball goes up, even in practice, he looks at me. When the ball goes up, we knew in practice you might want to turn and look for Jack Cooley because he's coming down the paint to run someone over. Nice touch again by Jonathan Isaac, who's really showed off that jumper during the course of this game. Yes.
And we've got a timeout. 47-38. Phoenix up by 9. Orlando hanging in here in Vegas.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, MGM Resorts Summer League. We have an injury report. Isaiah Briscoe will not return to the game. He has a right shin contusion. As you can see him iced down over there on the bench. So they want to make sure nothing's structural damage, guys, so they want to shut him down for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think with him signing his new deal, he's proven that he's deserves a roster spot. They want to keep him healthy, being that that he's the backup point guard. So got to keep him healthy and just make sure everything's good.
Tussle for the ball. Jay Wright takes it the other way. Oh, up high on defense.
Defensive
Shaquille Harrison.
effort. And their ball. That was great effort. Now, there again, that's what you ask for, particularly in young guys. Just you had a turnover, and you continue to play, and you make a big play for your team to get the ball back.
Here's another look.
Great anticipation. Actually, that wasn't even his turnover, and still great hustle.
And Vince, you know this, some hustle like that would get you invited to vet camp. Just that
100%.
hustle.
100%.
Inside, Cooley off glass. It's the Jack Cooley show.
Oh, cookies.
Turnover the other way. Harrison underneath, looking up top, Cooley. Fans wanted him to take that. He's not going to do that. Nice extra look. Alec Peters off glass. Cooley the follow. Jack Cooley trying to save it.
It's just the intensity, the effort. Like, that's who he is, man. He's going to clear out space, and he's easy to fall in love with as a player because of how he plays. Jack Cooley is one of those guys before the game. If you're looking for him, he's in front of the mirror, making sure his hair is perfect.
Every piece of hair.
To get ready. If you see the comb over is perfect, the perfect line, and then he comes out here on the court, and he's throwing his entire body into everyone. It's just great to see, and I enjoy watching him.
6
I just
points,
hate getting hit from
5
him.
rebounds,
And about 25 body blows.
That's it. Nice shot there from King. George King with the bucket. Lead is 13. Magic have hung around, trying to make this a game. Just over a minute to go here in the third.
But the one thing we're seeing right now is the effort by Phoenix. They're taking the fight from the Magic right now.
Josh Jackson giving the foul as Bamba was working against Cooley. Angola Rodas will take it out of bounds. Wesley Iwundu brings it out. Iwundu guarded by Peters and a foul.
Here we go, man. Two.
He was bailed out. I think he ran out of real estate. Bailed out with a foul.
You know, one of the things we've talked about for those who are watching their first Summer League game this year, or maybe ever, is these are not guys who have played together before. So while they're practicing together, really these games are important this first week, Vince, for them to understand their teammates, because it's not like it's the Phoenix Suns in exhibition against the Magic in terms of their roster at the big level. A lot of these guys coming from different places playing together for the first time.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. Like, you're seeing some guys getting released out of previous contracts, not getting to play. I practiced with a Summer League team 2 years ago in Memphis, and there were 2 guys on the team that had to sit on the sideline because they couldn't play yet because of getting out of their contracts overseas. So and now they're playing catch up. So as you get comfortable, you add 2 more guys into the mix, and everybody has to figure it out. And the learning curve, I think, is great because it makes these guys focus in, because when you're in a crucial point of the game and coach comes in and gives you your instructions as a player and as a team, you have to focus in and pay attention. So this is good for these young guys.
Angola Rodas to the.
There
that
he is again.
The third time he has gotten right through traffic and been creative at the rim.
He's putting that shoulder down, attacking the rim, and he's darting and jumping right at the backboard and putting it on the glass where a shot blocker like Mo Bamba can't get to it.
Josh Jackson guarded by Angola Rodas. Spin, but nice hands from Bamba. And on the break we go, Porvis. And a foul. He was looking for the trailers down the lane. Nice active hands by Bamba defensively.
If you notice what King did, he was avoiding the highlight. So he attacks the dribbler, going for the steal, but in essence, he wanted the foul to avoid the highlight. Because all it takes is one highlight to kind of get these guys back into it. It's only a 10-point game going into the fourth. Well, with 27 seconds left, obviously, but going into the fourth, you don't want to give them any momentum.
And unfortunately, that happened because Porvis was looking for Bamba to reward him for the defensive play.
And at the end of the day, now it's a great foul because he missed the free throw.
That's right. DeAndre Ayton back in. Joe Cooley takes a seat. 6 points, 5 rebounds, and about 22 body blows, you say?
25, 26, somewhere in there. And he loves it.
Free throw good from Porvis. Lead 9. Shot clock, game clock, about a 3-second difference.
And the wonderful thing about Jack Cooley is when I talk to him, he's not going to talk about his touches, but he's like, you see when I hit that guy for that offensive rebound? Yes, Jack, I saw it.
Shaquille Harrison underneath finds a Kobo, steps back off the wrong leg. Ayton, good fight defensively. Porvis able to get the steal and a foul.
But there again, now the defensive intensity and pressure by the Magic has gone to another level because they've cut the lead down. It was 12-14, now it's down to 9, and now they know now we have a chance.
Largest lead 17. Phoenix has led the entire time. One of the things that I've noticed here watching this game, for both of the bigs, and it happened there with Ayton, they're used to, I think, that extra split second they had in college to handle the ball and then go up. And you're seeing those active hands get in the way and then turn the ball over.
And it'd be interesting to watch because one thing, bigs, and I play the forward position now and in the post, and you hear Coach talking about don't bring the ball down. And there again, they were stronger than all of these guys in college, but now you have guys who are so quick to use their hands. You bring the ball down, now you might not be able to bring it back up unless you're Shaquille O'Neal, of course.
Which neither of us are.
Nobody.
I know I'm not.
I'm not
Lead
either.
is 7 at the end of 3. Hoping for a good finish here in Vegas. We return to preliminary round coverage, MGM Resorts NBA Summer League here at Thomas and Mack. Still another game to go. Clippers and Rockets coming up after this one.
What you call the Bamute Bowl.
The Bamute Bowl. Say that 3 times fast. Here's Shaquille Harrison. The jumper no good.
Left is short.
Catching what Vince caught a lot so far in his career, that's air, except he was flying. That ball was just getting air. Wandu.
I've shot a few of those, though.
I don't remember any of those.
Me either.
And I know,
but I know I did.
I know the third member of our broadcast team, Dennis Scott, never shot any of those. No air balls in
you
your
never
career,
shot an air
right?
ball, huh?
I'm not gonna lie. Every now and then.
Every now and again.
Yeah, every now and then you got to humble yourself.
Particularly when you get older.
I am shooting from the hash mark. You know?
I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it.
Dennis, how impressive have you been as we watch these 2 bigs? The shooting touch of the third one in Isaac, what he's been able to show so far tonight.
I keep fighting it, guys, because obviously, you know, playing with a guy like Shaq and our era events with so many big guys. So to see these guys at 19 and 20 years old being able to put the ball on the floor with finesse. I mean, Bamba had that dream shake fadeaway early in the game. Ayton trailer 3. So it's like you cannot stop these guys from continuing to evolve as young players. So I love it.
Yeah, it's a different game. I think nowadays when I say kids are growing up, whether they're going to be a point guard or going to be a big, they're working behind the three-point line now. Shaq wasn't working behind the three-point line.
No.
David Robinson wasn't working behind the three-point line as they were coming up. They're working on post moves, up and unders or whatnot, jump hooks. Yeah, it is just a different game. Like that, you see them working in drills and ball handling just like a guard would.
Shaquille Harrison guarded by Jay Wright.
Get that shot out of here.
Hey, I think that was a little payback from Wright
getting his, yes, good call.
Wright
Good
getting his shot blocked.
Good call, Vince.
A little get back.
A little hesitation.
Mikal Bridges comes into the game, so we should remark that it is Jay Wright now against Mikal Bridges, but not the same Jay Wright.
Jay Wright, not the coach.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Vince Carter, Hall of Famer to be, and catches on quick.
I do.
Shaquille
I do. I pay
Harrison.
attention.
Harrison by Wright, other hand, nice job on the reverse. Nice creativity on the switch up in the air.
Absolutely.
Lead is 8. It's been as much as 17. Magic have never led. Angola Rodas has been active getting to the paint. Not going to do that with Ayton. Bridges the steal.
So I want to make a point right here that we just saw. So they were trying to do a high pick and roll for Mo Bamba to be able to do a pick and pop. What he's going to have to understand, the better screen he sets, the more open he will become for that three-point shot. It was a brush screen to where the defender can get back to him and get the steal. If he cracks that guy a la Jack Cooley or what Ayton has been doing, you get the open shot. So that's things like that he's going to have to understand. So if we look right here, ball's going to come up. He didn't give a good screen, so it's tough to give him get a good pass because you don't knock your guy off his angle. If he does, that's a three-point shot for him.
DeAndre Ayton gets by Bamba and gets fouled.
Here's the next thing for here. He's standing straight up, so he's trying to absorb the contact, yes, but he's standing straight up. So now when he gets hit, he gets pushed back further and further away. So he's standing straight up. Now when you take the contact, you're leaning forward. Guy spins off you, slips off you, you fall forward. You have to foul. You leave yourself no other choice.
One of the things that stands out, I think, for folks who see Ayton drill the free throw is the size.
Right.
The NBA man size of Ayton, and not to say Bamba's not a big man, but you could see the difference in the size of the body of Ayton.
So when you're guarding somebody with that size, the first thing you tend to do, you want to hit first and you want to lean. You want to lean forward, which he did. Instead of, yes, you want to lean on him, but you still want to be in a position shoulder width apart where you can absorb the contact and still move. Once he got parallel and leaning forward, he had no chance.
Nice bucket inside. By the way, Ayton 11 points, 10 rebounds now in the game. A double-double for DeAndre. Guarded now by Isaac.
That was a big boy screen, though.
It's a foul on Ayton going the other way.
I think Jackson with a little shove.
Purvis has been very active defensively for Orlando. Done a nice job. He and Copain have spent a lot of time in the backcourt here in the second half. We saw a lot of Briscoe. Dennis talked about his injury and being out of this game. Angola Rodas, guarded by Mikal Bridges out of Villanova. Isaac, past Ayton, left hand. Ayton with the defense, holds it, pushes it.
Yeah,
Josh Jackson.
Ayton does a great job of just being patient, absorbing the contact because he's so much bigger, obviously, than Isaac. So he takes the bump and still arms are long enough to get to that shot. Isaac, I think, offensively, great pump fake, gets him. I just want to see him put his body into the shot block a little longer. He hits him here and he tries to bump away instead of sticking into him. So now when Ayton goes up, he has no choice but to jump into you. That's how you draw the foul. And he'll learn that now that he's putting the ball on the floor a little more.
Shaquille Harrison takes it. He's got it. Top of the key. Lead is 8. DeAndre Ayton again, double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Gets it there, guarded by Isaac. Double team Awandu. He leaves. Foul on Isaac.
Isaac making the same mistake, standing straight up. This is a big man who's so strong and has more weight than you. You can't stand straight up. Straight up, you have no resistance. You have no ability to push back.
Dennis, you played obviously with, I'm not trying to compare Ayton to Shaq or anyone to Shaq. Played with Shaq as a young player. When you think back to the dominance he could create just with his size early on in his career, we rarely see that now in the middle with the way the game is played. But you look at Ayton, and I know we're in summer league, we're not at the NBA level, but he's a big man, going to be a handful for a lot of the guys who are playing quote-unquote 5 to deal with in the Western Conference.
Well, KC, to that point, out of all the bigs that are coming into our game, he is the old school throwback, so to speak. He's willing to go down low and be on the block and do those low post moves. And he can shoot the three, but he's not looking for where Bamba may be looking for right now. Bagley may be looking for, but Ayton wants to be down low.
Going to be a handful for anybody in the West down low. Meanwhile, 1-2, 3 on the shot clock. Isaac, extra pass, open 3. Purvis can't nail it. Rebound, Bender.
I think Magic fans will say, I want Isaac to shoot that, but that's the right play. He made the extra pass to an even better three-point look. Obviously, it didn't go in.
Bender, free himself is good. We've seen that touch
Guards
in the game.
Harrison getting into the paint, drawing the defense, allowing Bender to have a wide open shot, and that's what you want. It's a great job getting downhill.
3 of 5 from 3 now, 11 points and 7 rebounds. Got a timeout on the floor. Phoenix with a 13-point lead. They've led by as many as 17. Another big that was a high pick. Dragan Bender takes us to the break. NBA Summer League 2018 Suns with a 60-47 lead. Next door over at Cox Pavilion, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with an early advantage over the Brooklyn Nets.
Basketball for days for the basketball fans, boy.
Keita Bates-Diop, Big Ten Player of the Year, has been very, very good early going for Minnesota. Also, we know Dennis has his eye on that because it's the one Georgia Tech player in Summer League.
Oh, yeah. Keep him happy. Keep him happy. That's why we're doing the look-in.
Nice look inside to Bridges, but good defense from Bamba. Back out to Bender. Shot clock winding down. Three-pointer. No good. Rebound, Mo Bamba.
Man, he covered that rebound. Top of the square, just about.
The 1-2 finds Isaac working against Dragan Bender.
I love it. Dribble handoff, which
finds
is
Isaac down low. Guarded by Ayton, but this time they'll call a foul.
dribble handoff, which is 6'10", 7-foot power or forward, if you would. Great to see. I think he was fortunate there. Again, he was trying to shy away from the contact. You see the big coming over late. You got to go into him, particularly a shot blocker like Ayton is.
You could see, because I mean, you know this and Dennis knows this, from where we sit, we can't feel bodies. You guys always talk about how we don't understand from the outside how strong this guy is or that.
Right.
What I like to watch is reactions of players. You even saw the hesitance there of Isaac. You see it down on the other end. They're feeling Ayton.
Oh, no,
and
yeah.
Now more and more trying to stay away from him and be weary of that body bouncing into it.
Well, that's the physicality you're talking about. That your previous question, Ayton is ready to be down low more. He's not ready to be a stretch five, so to speak. He wants to be an old school banging five.
He's got the body for it.
And more than anything, you're just conscious of all three of the bigs' ability to block shots. So when you go in the paint, naturally you take a quick glance of where are they? Where's the shot blocker? Where's the shot blocker? Just like back in your day with Shaq, when you go in the paint, you're like, all right, where is he? Oh, he's not there. It's clear. So you see the guard. He goes in there. He's
blocks.
You see he's looking. He's looking for Bamba. He's looking for Isaac or Ayton on the other end. You're conscious of that, and that's the great thing, and that's what make defensive catalysts of guys like that. You just making offensive players when you get in the paint, you're aware of their ability.
Ayton's got 15 points, 13 rebounds in the game. Looking for it inside. Foul on Bamba, who's got 5 blocks, has played his defense as well. It is remarkable because we started with Bamba and Ayton, but when you think about Bender and Isaac, we have top 10 picks that are bigs all over the floor from the last couple of years.
They're everywhere.
In an NBA that's not necessarily about bigs.
No. But there again, you're seeing bigs now that have the ability to not just post up. They have the ability to run the floor, shoot the three like they do.
Rebound to 1-2. He'll go on the break, looking for Bamba. Can't corral it. Mikal Bridges, nice active hands defensively, the other way from Isaac. Troy Payne, guarded by Bridges, and a foul. We've seen Mikal Bridges in a couple of plays. As you said, he's going to adjust to this level.
Absolutely.
He's going to be a good defender.
For sure.
But these aren't the guys he was in transition or the half court guarding in college.
Yeah, long arms, great instinct. It's an adjustment period. As a defender, you tend to learn how far away you need to be or how close you can be to a defender, an offensive player rather. So he will eventually catch on. It's just time. I think sometimes he puts too much. He puts too much pressure on himself because he wants to be good. He wants to make an impression instead of just going out there and play a game.
You can tell
be the
he's
player that you are.
frustrated.
Absolutely. Just be the player that you are. You'll be fine.
Well, let's also be fair. Those kids at Villanova never lose. So even to lose a summer league game is odd for these kids.
So I get a text from Alvin Williams, and he had to bring up the fact that he's like, oh, Villanova, we always win. That's just what he said. He's like, we always beat you guys. So shout out to Alvin.
No, it is true.
Wherever you are.
You look at Josh Hart, who's played well himself here in summer league again, and those teams with Arca Diacono and Hart and those kids,
man.
And then this group. You think about
hard,
Brunson,
man.
who was part of a couple of those.
Yeah.
One as a freshman, then the last one. I mean, it really is remarkable how much winning those kids did.
Mm-hmm. So that's it. Put your winning mentality onto the floor and just go from there. And it takes a veteran to kind of get in the ear. So that's the importance of teams having all of this young talent. When they struggle, you need that veteran presence to be in their ear. Now in Phoenix, they have another former teammate of mine, Corliss Williamson, who's played the game, who I think these guys will respect because he's played the game and he understands because he's been there. I think he'll help, but it's always great to have another player in the fold as well.
Copain, jumper no good. Bender with the rebound.
Another great pass by Isaac.
Lead is 15, just over 3 to go. Suns, bell to bell, wire to wire. They've led by as much as 17. Josh Jackson looking cross court, can't find his man Harrison. Copain gets in the way. Here's DeAndre Ayton here in the first 3 games of Summer League. Has shown himself extremely well. 15 and 13 tonight. And an easy 15 and 13. Almost, I don't want to say quietly, but he kind of got it in the flow of the game.
Absolutely.
Right? There was no point where it felt like he was dominating, but that's a heck of a line.
But here's the thing. They didn't have to feature him as far as posting him up for him to get those points. They just put him in pick and roll. He sets great screen rolls, and he gets the lob. So he's just in the beneficiary of hitting the glass as well.
Ayton and the Suns up 15. We're back for the finish here in Vegas. We're back here in Las Vegas. It is the MGM Resorts NBA Summer League 2018 preliminary round action. DeAndre Ayton, 15 points, 13 rebounds, and a 15-point lead for the Suns over the Orlando Magic. We still have one more here, the Clippers and the Rockets, before we get done. Devon Reed, the easy bucket. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, part of that game.
I've been impressed with Harrison. Just his on-the-ball defense, his ability to get downhill into the paint, making the right play, creating for his team. He's been great.
Played in 23 games with the Suns a year ago, averaging 6 a game. Played 36 games in the G League, averaging 11 points.
There you see him getting into the defender. Smart play, just running down the ball, just getting him an assist. I mean, that's what you want to see there. In the books, that's going to look good. Just another assist, another hustle play, just another point guard making the right play for his team. I mean, that's what you want to get on this roster and possibly have the ability to play.
I was going to say, for those who just joined us, when you look at Phoenix, they've got a backcourt with a lot of questions at the point guard position, so there are opportunities to open eyes and get minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And he's definitely putting his stamp on the game.
Oh, and there's a stamp to Ayton.
But what he's doing is he's just getting downhill, making make a decision. Do you give him the layup or do you step up? And when you step up, you have a guy like Ayton who's going to hit the rim and is going to get a dunk every time.
He's gotten 4 of those. Ayton, 4 dunks, 17 points, 13 rebounds. Here again is Harrison on the dish.
Great showing for Ayton.
Yeah, he's played very, very well.
Great showing. And he said he knew he was the #1 pick. He knew he had to prove it, and he is right now proving that Phoenix made the right decision.
You know, the lead's 19-2 to go. We got another game, but 3D just before we cap this one. I'm curious your take on that, getting to see Ayton at this view and vantage point, and your thoughts on him, the #1 overall pick.
I like everything I see, Casey. You know how I am, that the tournament's one thing, the Final Four is one thing, but until you get to Summer League, how does your game translate? As of right now, running the floor, on the block, shooting threes, it's translating very well.
So, yeah, right now, even if he doesn't have a legit post move, I think Shaq coming out as a young guy, and that's kind of the difference back in the day, because they were working on their game. Now guys are more so apt to work on that three-point shot. So once he develops a post move, then he goes to the next level, because they're not going to need. I mean, he's going to spread the floor, yes, all of that, but they're not going to need him to shoot the threes like that. They're going to need a post up at some point from a big, and he's going to probably be the feature down there.
You can tell how much the teammates, the Suns, Bender and Ayton, both getting up for Jack Cooley on the break.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that you love him because he plays hard. Now he's the MVP. I'm telling you,
MVP chance for Jack Cooley.
He's big time. You don't understand. Jack Cooley's a star, man. He's a star.
The Cooley chance.
I love it.
I'll take things that only happen at Summer League for 500, Alex.
Yes.
The MVP chance for Jack Cooley, but we'll take it. Jay Wright, corner, jumper good. Boykins just in the game. Jacoby Boykins with the shot. Final seconds, all elementary from here. 69-51, Suns have led the whole way. Cooley underneath. Bringing down the house. It's the Jack Cooley show in Vegas. 10 points and 5 rebounds.
Oh, wow. He didn't call glass.
We'll see if they get Cooley one more opportunity. Suns teammates are standing. The MVP chance for Cooley to close out the show. 18 points will be the finish. Jack with a smile. He's cracking a smile. And the reaction from the crowd. Gotta love that.
That's how you get a job, man. I mean, it's contagious. And it just, not only with your fans, your teammates just love to be around a guy like that plays hard and just loves the game.
Ayton finishes with 17 and 13. Mo Bamba, not the game he probably would have wanted, but obviously just one game in Summer League, but 4 points, 5 rebounds. And Jack Cooley, 10 points, 5 boards. Also, Isaac played well, I think, in terms of showing off his different skills.
Right.
Shaquille Harrison, to your point, had a nice game.
I think he was big.
Josh Jackson showed again the aggressive nature that he plays this game.
Briscoe.
Yes.
Briscoe was phenomenal as well.
Yes. Jack Cooley comes over to say hello to Vince Carter. We throw it over to our third member of our team, Dennis Scott.
All right, thanks, Casey. Here with the #1 pick, 17 and 13. DeAndre, we talked about it draft night. This is your dream when you came out ready to play this summer.
Yes, sir. And with all the excitement and all the fans coming out here, it just really made me a lot more comfortable. And I just wanted to put on a show for them, to be honest, and just win as many games as I played.
And going through and playing with Bamba today, how excited were you that you guys have been compared against each other all to this draft point, and you had a chance to go up against him?
Listen, Bamba is a winner. Through high school, we won every game. This is my first win against him. So, yeah. So when we were shaking that, she's like, you finally got one, huh? I was like, yep, finally got one. So, yeah, we always been matched up against each other. It was a great game, especially on the glass. We was really battling each other. But, he's a great dude. He worked on this game a lot. He's very vocal on the court as well. But, our team did a good job on the defensive end. We got the job done.
Devin Booker gets the big contract. He's a young vet. How excited are you to get work with him for the regular season?
Man, he's a great guy. I've been hanging out with him a couple of times, off the court. Just really just really getting to know him. He's a great guy, really humble, really somebody great to be around and just listen to, including Josh and all the other guys like Marquise. It's just a young team and they're very hungry. And I just know we have the young legs to run up and down the floor.
Well, I appreciate you, big fella. Good luck the rest of the summer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, DeAndre Ayton, the big guy, came to play Casey and Vince.
Yes, he did, 3D, and it helped lead the Suns to a 71-53 win. We've got more Summer League action continuing. We'll get you set for the Clippers and Rockets and take you over to Cox live to check in on the Nets and the T-Wolves. All coming up from Vegas. Summer League action rolls on.